large of a sales team do you start having?
I think we hired 5 in year 2.
We start year 2 with about 3, I believe. And then in our first week, we ramp up to about 4 or 5, I believe, when we launch. And ultimately, we'll stagnate there for a little while because we're going to be focusing on our first initial buyer. Then years down the road, as we increase our production and hopefully take on new customers, we'll be ramping that up further.
And I just follow that up with, you say you want to go after Samsung as your first buyer. How long of an exclusivity period are you willing to do?
We were thinking 2 years.
So how do you know this works?
The technology?
Yes.
Well, it was developed by scientists at the University of Florida. I have not seen it work myself. What it does is it provides you get reflection because of a sharp change in refractive index. So the refractive index of glass is about 3 and air is 1, which results in a lot of reflection. So what it does is provides an effective graded index, which gradually changes the index and it doesn't reflect. But again, I haven't seen it work.
And so they did experiments?
Oh yes, it's based on a paper and a corresponding patent. It's also the Malthus structure has been studied for a while, but it's this is the first time it's cost effective to produce it.
One of the advantages you discussed is the reduced power intake as a result of putting in. Have you quantified what that is over the life of your computer, and how do you intend to market it? Obviously, the Samsung won't have the advantage of it. It will be the end user who will get the advantage of that reduced power intake. What's your thoughts about, is it significant enough to market as a part of the product?
I don't know, we don't know the exact numbers on that. We haven't quantified that. But what I can tell you is that BrightView is a very popular product currently, and they're, like we said, they have exclusive deals with HP and Compaq, and are being incorporated into a lot of laptops. And one of their cornerstones of their product is that they reduce power consumption. They're ultimately a slightly different type of technology that does something a little bit different, but it's a comparable company, and that is one of their key features. So I would imagine it would be a marketable feature.
So you have a green product here?
It's green, you could definitely call it that.
Are those in the BrightView, the laptops incorporating BrightView, are they charging a premium price, HP, and are consumers willing to pay a premium price for this?
Oh yes, so we have done our market research, and what we found out is that HP and Compaq actually offers an option for BrightView technology screens, and customers have to pay an additional $50 to enjoy the functionality of this screen. Yeah. So I believe that we can also employ the same customer and work out a deal with Samsung on this.
What assumptions did you make regarding the licensing? Are you going to pay a fee and royalties?
We assumed a royalty fee off the top line of 8%.
And how about upfront for the IP?
We did not consider that. I guess I would imagine in discussing with the inventors, that would be part of the deal that we would work out.
In your executive summary, you talked about initially manufacturing in Taiwan, I think.
Yeah, so like just now when I was describing the operations plan, our manufacturing process actually involves 2 steps. So firstly, creating a mold which is reusable many times in the production line, and secondly, growing the film on the mold. And as we want to lower operating costs, we'll be manufacturing the mold itself, and then sending it to Taiwan where the film manufacturing will take place.
So but then you talked about ultimately bringing it back into the States. Is that right?
No, that must be a mistake.
Okay.
Do you have any idea how long BrightView took to get to the point where they had a product they could really market, and how long it took them to get to the point where companies like HP were actually using it in their offerings? Because it seems to me one of the biggest challenges here is going to be being a sort of small, no-history startup and breaking into these mega corporations like that make the LCD. That's a really difficult thing to do.
So, based on our market research, Brightview was established in 2015. And then the first product that has the Brightview screens came out in 2004. So they took about a year to actually kind of convince the customers to adopt this exclusive technology. So what we think is that probably we will need a very dedicated and strong management and board to actually launch this product into market, which is why we actually selected people who have very much experience in this industry to help us with this process.
And I'd just like to add to that, that's exactly why we would like to, that's exactly part of the reason why we'd like to offer the exclusive contract, because we do think it's a competitive edge, and we believe that will be something very attractive.
And do you have an idea how much money it took Brightview to get there? Is it comparable with what you're looking to do?
We do not.
We don't know how much funding
They're
there
not
is.
a public company, we can't see that.
4 years is a little too long to wait. You know, the way everything's changing so quick, you couldn't bring it to market quicker.
We didn't want to be too aggressive with our timeline, but it would be worth considering. What it really hinges on is how quickly we are able to secure our first customer.
What are the components of cost? Is it the raw materials, the labor, the manufacturing hardware? What is the controls, the cost of the product?
The materials are very cheap. They're pretty much commodity materials for the most part. The labor is a large part of it. The IP is a large part of it. But yeah, that's the most part. I think the labor and the IP make up a large part of the cost, as well as the equipment that we need to purchase.
So how long would it take you to have a prototype that you can show?
I would say, given the fact that the actual process is completely ironed out, it would just be a matter of producing it in a lab. Once we have the licensing and materials, we would be able to show a prototype in about a month.
I would imagine also if we were paying a royalty to the inventors, they might be able to help us make a prototype on a more aggressive timeline since they are more familiar with the production process.
I'm not sure if you mentioned this, but is there a measure of glare that is there a number that you can point to that just is better than the other?
The specular reflection number that we started with, less than 0.5%, that's the standard.
Less than?
Less than 0.5% specular reflection is the characteristic for TrueView, and that's, I believe, the standard of measuring glare.
I believe ViewBest is at about 0.7 or 8.
So, and what we see now in notebooks is?
Oh, well, what we see now in notebooks is you see a glossy screen. It's not designed with glare reduction as the focus. It's designed with a clear and crisp image. So I don't actually know the number on that, but it's much higher.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.